Hello everyone, today we will discuss Universal Dharma of Liberation. The purpose of creating these Universal Dharma of Liberation recordings aims to reach everyone on this earth, children, adults, elderly, people with disabilities, women, men, people of all genders, ages, social classes, statuses, ethnicities, religions, and countries, so they may listen to these essential teachings about freedom from suffering. I will emphasize helping us understand the life essence that is empty, clear, and pure, what we call mind, or Dhamma-Element, or primal element. This empty, clear, and pure life essence is something we have never truly known before. We often learn about external things, but have never learned about our own primal element. This is the one essential knowledge that all of us must learn, must realize, and must fully understand with all our hearts. Once we understand, we must help share this Dharma, share this knowledge. This universal Dharma of liberation is shared through YouTube and Facebook on the page Freedom Through Understanding. We must share this widely for everyone to hear, because when people listen, they will find complete freedom from suffering and discover the truth that everyone has been seeking throughout their lives. This knowledge is what we have sought through millions of lifetimes. We have been born in every condition, lost our way for so long, but this life will be the final one where we will know the truth. This knowledge will help us go against the stream to realize the inner truth and understand our empty, clear, and pure life essence. This is not difficult at all, but very simple. The purpose of these Universal Dharma of Liberation recordings that I have created is with the hope that everyone on earth will listen, so that we will no longer suffer, no longer harm each other, no longer destroy each other, no longer compete with each other as we have from the past until now. We will transition into an era where everyone knows the truth that this world, this body, this sound, our mental images, our emotions, even our current awareness, including all the knowledge we have known or what we understood as being human right now, all of these are actually just manifestations of our empty, clear, and pure life essence. Like how we are pure elements, a zero dimension, absolute zero. In this pure element, there is no time and no distance. It is an extremely clear element, merging as one with the emptiness of the infinite universe. It is the primal element, and we are this primal element. When we go against the stream to realize this truth, realization can only occur when we listen to these recordings extensively and observe inwardly. See this manifestation. See this speaking voice. See that this speaking voice is not us. It is a manifestation. The mental images we think are manifestations. The emotions we have been clinging to all along. Emotions of happiness, suffering, satisfaction, dissatisfaction, neutral feelings. All these emotions, every characteristic, are manifestations, not us. They are manifestations. Even this awareness is just a manifestation. In conclusion, there is nothing that is truly us. When we trace our way back to inner knowing until our pure element accepts this truth, our pure element will release from all these manifestations. It's like releasing from this body and then releasing from all manifestations. Another analogy, if we erase this physical body, what remains is the pure element and manifestations. Then we erase the manifestations too, erase this sound, erase images, erase emotions, the act of knowing, perceptions, all memories and recognitions, all knowledge and understanding of what we thought was being human. Erase it all completely. What remains is just the clear element, the pure life essence. We are this element, called the primal element. It's like erasing the entire universe. Stars, sun, black holes. Erase them all. Erase darkness, light, dust particles, every single thing. Erase it all completely. What remains is just clear emptiness. That is the primal element, the original element, the base, the foundation of all energy and all material elements. We dwell in this clear, empty element, which is the base, the foundation of all. We are this clear element that merges as one with all things. We are that clear element. Can you understand this? Can you visualize and comprehend this? Those who don't understand should listen many times. This knowledge isn't found externally, it's always present within us. Yet, we have never known this pure element. We will access this pure element together. I will speak in simple language, not tied to any religion, hoping these universal Dharma of liberation recordings will reach people of all religions, classes, genders, and social standings. Everyone can listen, and it's engaging and challenging. Let's verify this together. Who will reach it first? When you reach it, tears will flow. It will be magnificently amazing. We will cry. This mind, this pure element, will shine brightly for us to see. We will become that clear element. In fact, we are that clear element already. But right now, we reside here, believing this speaking is us speaking, this thinking is our thinking, these emotions of satisfaction, dissatisfaction, or neutrality are our emotions. We claim ownership of all these manifestations. We believe that this knowing, hearing sounds, seeing, smelling, tasting, touching, and being aware right now, we believe we are truly knowing. But do you know? The truth is, there is nothing that is us. These are merely manifestations of the empty, clear, utterly pure life essence. Our essence is truly a clear element, so clear that darkness can pass through it. Let us visualize. This clear element of ours is the primal element. It simply wants to learn what it is, and since it cannot fabricate anything itself, it creates manifestations to learn about things. But these rippling manifestations of learning are not the pure clear element. They are merely manifestations. It's like we are a single clear water droplet floating in air. This clear water is the pure life essence, but there is surface tension at the edge of this clear water. This surface tension is the characteristic of this element. When something contacts it, it functions by rippling in response, creating effects, manifestations we call sound, manifestations we call mental images. Try observing inside. There is always this voice speaking within, the voice speaking inside our mind. Our mind has no mouth, yet it speaks constantly. And we flow along with this voice continuously. Can you see how we are constantly submerged in attachment to this voice? Even though this voice is merely a manifestation, not us, it's just a manifestation. There's no need to rush to understand this, no need to hurry. Keep listening, and gradually our pure clear life essence will understand on its own. Gradually release, gradually understand. Then it will brighten up and naturally break free. No need to rush. While listening to these teachings continuously, our only duty is to hold on to this voice, probe inwardly, stay with the voice. Keep holding on until we sense this voice echoing deep within our mind, and we are deeply aware with this voice. Keep following the voice, understanding gradually. Soon, a realization will arise that this truly isn't us. This voice is merely a manifestation, and this knowing, this current awareness, this hearing of the voice, will begin to see that this knowing knows by itself. We'll start to see the truth that this knowing knows by itself. No need to intentionally know, no need to intentionally hear the voice. Observe carefully. It hears by itself, it smells by itself. When walking and a scent appears, it smells by itself. It tastes by itself. It feels cold and heat naturally by itself. It perceives through eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body through these windows naturally by itself. And as we begin to observe, seeing that it knows by itself, speaks by itself, thinks by itself, has emotions of satisfaction or dissatisfaction by itself, then where is our sense of self? Let the mind answer itself. We ask inwardly, it knows by itself. Don't desire an answer, just observe and ask. Does it truly know by itself? Experience this truth for yourself. Let us discover this truth together. When our empty, clear, and pure life essence verifies and finds this to be true, that there truly is nothing that is us, when our pure element sees the truth that all manifestations are not the pure element, when our pure element understands and accepts this, our pure element will break free, no longer clinging to manifestations. We will shed tears, it will be brilliantly bright, and we will become the clear element that is one with the clear emptiness that encompasses the infinite universe. We will break free from being human, seeing that this physical form is not us. We will cry. We will see that this voice, these mental images, these appearing emotions, this current awareness, none of it is us, and we will cry. We will touch something tremendously vast. We will know the truth that this body is born to die. This body won't last long. This body is merely a temporary vessel we inhabit for learning. Let's return to discussing our pure element. Visualize along a pure, clear element, like a sphere, or it doesn't have to be a sphere. Imagine it however you wish. This pure, clear element merges as one with the clear emptiness before us. This pure, clear element simply wants to know what it is. That's all it wants. So it relies on the manifestations around it, rippling in awareness, rippling to give value and meaning, becoming a speaking voice, mental images, emotions. Can you understand? These are merely manifestations. The clear element has rippling manifestations around it. Just this simple analogy. Now, darkness passes through this clarity. Darkness absorbs everything, even absorbing the clarity. When we look, everything appears dark, right? But that clear element is still there. Darkness is just residing in the clarity. The clarity has no form. Remember that our pure life essence has no form. I want to tell you all, imagine this. We suffer because we have this physical form. Without a body, it would be completely at ease. No need to eat, sleep, care for the body, feel pain or aches, nothing at all. And if we had no voice either, no mental images, no emotions, no awareness, it would be even more at ease. No need to speak, think, have emotions, or know anything. The clear element is empty, pure. It's an element that has nothing in it, yet it is the primal element, the original element, that is everything. It's like a large tree. Compress this large tree into a seed. This entire tree exists within this tiny seed. Who would believe that this tiny seed is a great tree? Who would believe that our empty, clear, pure life essence, we could call it soul consciousness, but let's not name it. Let's say this element has no name. I'll call it the formless, empty, clear life essence. We could call it mind. This formless, empty, clear, pure life essence merges with everything, unrelated to any manifestations or material elements. It's already pure. The key is to trace back inward and let go of all manifestations. See it, accept deeply that all manifestations are not the empty, clear, pure element. When you can accept this, everything is complete. Tears will flow and it will break free. This element will break free and we will become something vast. We will know for ourselves how vast it is. Everyone, experience this truth. Experience it. Listen to this recording. Probe along. Observe. Just observe and understand deeply. Observe and understand deeply. Understand. Understand. understand until it reaches the heart, until it accepts truly that it speaks by itself, that this knowing truly knows by itself. See how it hears by itself, knows by itself, becomes aware of sounds by itself. Observe carefully. Just one moment of mind truly seeing that it knows by itself, and realizing this deeply. When this knowing arises, tears will flow. It's ready to know and break free at any moment, from waking until sleep, every moment, every second, every fraction of a second. Let's get back to where we left off. This pure, pristine element, when darkness passes through the clear emptiness that is the original element, darkness seems to consume everything. We might think everything has become darkness, but that's not the case. Darkness is merely one form of energy residing within the clear emptiness. When darkness enters this clear, empty life element, this pristine element ripples in response. It recognizes that something has made contact, and it ripples with conditioning, holding on to the notion, this is darkness, I am darkness, I am darkness. The clear element cannot know itself without something making contact with it. It ripples with effects to learn about that thing. Just like when we see something, we immediately assign value to what that thing is, and emotions follow. Do you understand this point? When we hear a sound, we immediately assign meaning and value. A motorcycle sound. What kind of motorcycle? Why is it so loud? Pleasant or unpleasant feelings arise like, it's too loud, it's annoying. Emotions follow. Must be a chopper motorcycle. We're already assigning extended meaning, even though it's just a sound. There's an immediate rippling that assigns value and meaning to identify what it is, followed by emotional reactions. Then it concludes with understanding and fades away. But if understanding hasn't been reached, the mind continues to wonder, what exactly was that? What kind of sound was that really? I'm so curious. There's an inner agitation, wanting an answer. If it doesn't know what it is, this inner agitation persists, and it will keep trying to find an answer. It remains suspended in this state until there's a conclusion. Our pure element can reach conclusions on its own. Our pure element creates these phenomena to perceive, ripple with conditioning, record, process, and understand. Once it has recorded, processed, and understood, it dissolves. It can clear itself. When it has the answer, it clears itself naturally. However, whenever it lacks an answer about something it's trying to know, it creates a kind of inner restlessness, trying persistently to obtain an answer. It remains suspended internally. This element is our fundamental element. Whenever we attach to and flow into something, whether through sight, sound, smell, taste, or physical contact, and we grasp at it wondering, what is this? Each time we assign value and meaning and cling to that thing, a rippling occurs as we try to learn about it. This is what happens when the pure, clear, empty life element has become attached to these phenomena. Like how we cling to this sound, cling to mental images, cling to these emotions, we sink into them. When suffering comes, we sink, cry, suffer immensely, drowning in emotions even though they are merely phenomena like winds that blow in and then blow away. But we don't let the wind pass, we jump to embrace it and sink with that wind, the wind of phenomena. We suffer with those phenomena, and when happiness comes, we soar with those phenomena. But know that these things don't truly exist, they are merely phenomena. And this knowing consciousness is also not our true self. The knowing consciousness that knows the sounds, images, and emotions, they appear together and dissolve together. It is always like this, but whenever we flow into knowing, flow into attachment, flow into syncing with various phenomena, It enters to know that phenomenon and grasps onto it. It clings there and remains sunken there. Have we experienced suffering, crying for many days? Crying continuously, suffering endlessly, not eating, weeping day and night. Have we known this? Do we realize how heavy that suffering feels? Do we understand it's merely a phenomenon? We don't realize this. Instead, we sink into it, flow and drown with it, as if it were something tangible, as if it were permanent. Yet it's just a phenomenon that appears and vanishes. It's like throwing a stone into water. There's impact, creating ripples. The waves may be strong or gentle, depending on the impact. Strong impact creates strong waves. But can these waves change the water's nature? They cannot. After a while, these phenomena subside, and the water returns to its natural, smooth state. Whether there are waves or not, whether there's impact or not, water remains pure water. Don't be foolish and cling to the waves, thinking, I'm not water, I'm a wave. This is the delusion of the pure element, this pure, clear element. When darkness passes through, its clarity merges with the darkness, and it mistakenly identifies itself as darkness. It claims darkness as its identity. This is the nature of the pure element. It doesn't know whether this is darkness or something else. It just keeps attaching, keeps clinging, keeps claiming ownership until it realizes its true nature as the pure element. Only then will it cease this attachment, this clinging. Can you understand this? You must understand. Like a newborn child who knows nothing, who is completely pure, if this pure child falls into the hands of a great bandit who leads them to harm others, they won't know it's wrong. They know only that this is what they must do. If this child lives among animals, they will develop the nature of those animals. If this child lives among the poor or the rich, they will become just like them. They can become anything, depending on the conditions and circumstances, on how their environment shapes them. They don't know what is right or wrong, good or evil, high or low, black or white, positive or negative. They simply learn as they go. Can you understand this? This is our pure element. Return to our pure, pristine essence of being. This is what we truly are. Don't miss this point. We were never human, never born into this world. We are pure essence. Prove it, look within, and verify, verify. Let me explain gradually. When darkness passes through this pure essence, this empty, pristine nature, it is learning. It merges with the darkness and mistakenly identifies itself as that darkness. This is natural, part of its learning process. As darkness gradually departs, it begins losing that darkness. Now it grieves the loss of darkness. Do you see the ignorance here? Do you see the nature's innocence? We shouldn't call it ignorance, though. It's just how nature is. Nature is learning through this process. It uses these ripples of experience, clinging to the idea, I am darkness now. It clings to these ripples. As darkness naturally fades away, which cannot be held on to, darkness dissolves on its own. It tries to prevent darkness from leaving. But despite its strongest attempts to hold on, it cannot. It cannot grasp nature itself. All it can do is create ripples of mental formations, manifesting as dissatisfaction. This is nature's way. It creates these conditions simply to learn. There is no right or wrong here, just not recognizing itself as pure essence. Understand? Now, as light gradually creeps in, replacing darkness, illuminating everything, we cannot find this pure essence because it blends with everything. Our pure essence, this pristine element, cannot know itself directly. And so it creates these ripples of experience in order to learn until it comes to know its own true nature. But the point isn't that simple. When this essence creates these rippling tools of experience, it continues to ripple, dwelling in vessels, learning and identifying itself as human. And there it is, this pure, empty, pristine life essence now identifies itself as human through the voice that says, this is the left arm, this is the right arm. These things don't speak for themselves. This is the left leg, this is the right leg. These things don't speak. But the rippling that manifests as voice does speak. Can you see this? Who is aware of this internally? Can you see the voice that speaks? See that these rippling manifestations of voice, they're not really voices at all, just conditions. They assign value and meaning. We are human, male, female. This is left leg, right leg. These are our hands. These are our arms. Do you see this voice giving meaning and value? Do you see the mental images it creates? Do you see the emotions working by themselves? Observe internally. See these conditions working by themselves. And this awareness itself, it's aware by itself. What are we really? Let the mind answer itself. Let the pure, empty, pristine life essence answer itself. Once you understand this and continue listening, keep listening, all of us can access this pure essence. When you listen to my recordings, keep listening 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times. Listen from waking until sleep. The listening becomes absorbing, increasingly suspenseful. As you listen, it feels like you're about to get it, about to win this game, about to break through. Let's achieve this victory. We must access this essence. It's the ultimate challenge, the one subject, the one knowledge we've never studied before. Come to know this essence within yourself. When you break through, you'll find something truly miraculous. It will be so pure that we'll weep with tears. It's truly extraordinary. We will know that we are an utterly pure essence. We were never born into this world, never were anything at all. Voice, mental images, emotions, the act of knowing, none of these ever belong to anyone. It's all seen as simply nature. But we are not involved with any of these things. We are the pure essence, that which is supremely pure, where no language exists, where no language remains. When we recognize this voice is not us, the pure essence will release itself. When we recognize mental images are not us, the pure essence will release itself. When we recognize emotions are not us, the pure essence will release itself. Seeing that even this knowing awareness is not us doing the knowing, the pure essence will release itself. Once it fully releases itself, what remains is an empty, pristine clarity that is intensely pure, pure and pristine, radiating brightness everywhere. This entire universe exists within our mind. We will weep, we will witness countless miracles, and will want to tell the whole world to come see, come experience, come realize, come arrive at this. It's deeply challenging, this one thing that keeps us cycling through existence, being born again and again endlessly to come to know this very thing. Have we ever asked ourselves why we were born? It feels like we're seeking something, but haven't found what we're looking for. We may have money, houses, cars, possessions, everything, but that's not what we're really seeking. This is the answer. Our pure essence, our pristine life essence simply wants to know what it truly is. Just this. This is the origin where this pure life essence created rippling manifestations to learn. This is the beginning. Then it became lost in learning only about the external, never learning about what's within. Have you noticed? Since birth, our parents taught us to think and remember, taught us to make a living, to seek material elements throughout the world, to propagate our species, to believe we are human. No parents, no teachers, No one ever pointed out to us since childhood that we are this empty, pristine, pure life essence, that this voice, mental images, emotions, this awareness, these are not us. This body is not ours either. This body will die. It was born to dissolve. This voice, mental images, emotions, the act of knowing, these are just manifestations. Observe carefully within, come to know internally. Observe, observe. Just observe until understanding truly arises in a single moment. Then tears will flow. There will be lightness, such lightness. Observe. If you can see it, grasp its principle, understand it, let it reach your heart. Access the pure essence until it breaks free. Something happens, there's lightness, immense spaciousness, as if we've cast off everything we've been carrying. We've been carrying the body, carrying voice, carrying images, carrying emotions, carrying the act of knowing. We've been carrying all these things. When we let go of the body, let go of images, let go of emotions, let go of voice, let go of the act of knowing. And letting go here means seeing that these things are not us, not letting go as we think of it. This isn't about thinking, it's about understanding. I'm not teaching you to think, I'm not teaching you to memorize. I'm teaching you to understand, to truly understand, to reach it, and then it will break free. Keep understanding, it becomes lighter. Observe. Want to know how it progresses? It gets lighter and lighter. Suppose we're carrying 100 kilograms of weight. We drop 25 kilograms because why foolishly carry that which isn't ours? So we kick away 25%. We keep carrying. Wait, what else is heavy? This isn't us either. Kick away another 25%. Now we're at 50%, so much lighter. We continue walking. Why is it still so heavy? This isn't us. Now we've dropped 75%. It's light, it's spacious, it's so very light. But it's not complete. We keep walking. What remains? This awareness here. Who is aware? Is it aware by itself? This final 25%. Kick it away. Now it's complete. Now it's light. Never in this life have we felt such lightness. There's nothing to carry. It's empty, spacious, clear, pure. We are this empty, clear, pure life essence, without form. Let us imagine when we reach this formlessness. What could suffer there? Think about it. In that formlessness, that pure life essence, there is no male or female, no coming or going, no birth or death. It is immortal and completely still. It remains purely pristine. It has no age, no distance, no time. It is everything. Within it exists complete, perfect knowing, yet no one owns it. We are that purity. We are that purity that is truly incomparable in its pureness. It is utterly pure. Win this victory, pass through all stages, understand, let understanding reach deep within. This is the only thing we truly seek. Everything else is not what we're looking for. We've just been lost in misunderstanding. Enough now. We've misunderstood for so long. None of this is who we are. Now back to when light passes through this empty pristine clarity, and this empty pristine clarity merges with the light. It ripples with identification that I am this light. This is the nature of how the pure essence ripples to learn, because it doesn't know what it is. It must keep dwelling this way. When this light gradually departs, we begin trying to hold on to the light, but light cannot be grasped, cannot be controlled. It gradually leaves us. We try to embrace and hold the light with us, but light cannot be grasped, because that's its nature. This pure essence doesn't know. It truly doesn't know. The light departs. It has lost the light. It has lost, it grieves. Our pure essence has lost its light. Just like our lives today, we're talking about the empty, pristine life essence here. This is how it works. It has relied on these ripples for so long until it found a vessel in human form. It had obtained vessels from single-celled organisms, two-celled organisms, three-celled organisms, and so on. It has changed vessels countless billions of times, until now dwelling in this vessel called the body, whether as water creatures, land creatures, underground creatures, winged creatures, or human creatures. Our pure, pristine life essence begins to ripple, identifying itself as this body. When we were newly born, we already rippled with identification that we are this body. Though there was no language then, we identified ourselves as this physical form. After birth, we began hearing our parents' voices, started speaking, started having voice, began eating, began sensing tastes, began receiving impacts until we recorded that this is delicious, this is food. We recorded that this is delicious, we like it. We started hearing sounds, hearing our parents' voices often until we began recognizing this as the voice of those who care for us, who love us. We kept recording everything: sounds, smells, tastes, touch, absorbing touch, receiving embraces from our parents, absorbing and recording it all, until we began opening our eyes to see, remembering images, remembering sounds, remembering smells, starting to record, starting to hear sounds, learning language, beginning to speak, to communicate, to process, understanding that we are human, we are their child, these are our parents, these things are ours. We began identifying, learning, remembering, thinking, believing we truly are human, started understanding everything, being taught to make a living, how to live life. We entered the same old system. We've been like this countless times, inhabiting human bodies, animal bodies, to seek sustenance and then die. Coming to dwell in vessels of humans and animals, seeking sustenance and dying, seeking sustenance and dying. We've been this way for millions of cycles, but we've always been this way. No one has ever pointed out, told us, taught us that we are this empty, pristine life essence. We are not any manifestation, not any material element. No one has ever shown us this. That's why I had to create this universal dharma of liberation from suffering, to let all of us on earth hear it. The single goal is for us to realize this Dhamma essence, to realize this empty, pristine life essence, this supreme noble essence that we all possess. Then we will be free from everything. It's beyond all concepts of the divine. It's something truly magnificent. We are already pure essence, just here to learn. Now in this era, listening to the teacher explain clearly, there is a way for us to return to this empty, pristine life essence and realize it through our own nature. We must listen to these Dharma recordings I've presented every day. Listen and declare to yourself that from now until realizing this pure essence, you will listen to this Dharma, my Dharma from webpage, Liberation Through Knowing, and share it with everyone. Listen until realization comes, until it fills your heart. Be aware within, observe this voice, these mental images, these emotions, this act of knowing. See that all of these are natural phenomena working by themselves, not us. See this clearly, no longer foolishly clinging. When we set this intention with our hearts, set it with our hearts, our determination rises fully. Determination becomes complete. Then understanding will come very easily. Listen to my recordings, observe, listen, and observe. Right now, while listening, do you see the sound impacting within? Do you see my voice echoing inside your mind? Do you see how our empty, pristine life essence is perceiving this sound? See how this sound impacts by itself, how this empty, pristine life essence ripples with awareness by itself. See how it hears by itself, knows by itself. This act of knowing, look carefully within. Does this knowing inside have any form? Observe carefully. It's just something that knows, knowing within emptiness. Observe carefully, observe well within. We just observe within, that's all. We will see these impacts, whether sound, smell, image, emotion, or any manifestation. They impact within, and there is knowing within. Observe carefully how it knows by itself, knows through its own nature. It is some kind of empty, pristine natural phenomenon, but it ripples as what we call knowing. Yet it has no form, it's just something. It's like the flow of wind moving gently through the substance of air. The substance of air moves within the substance of empty, pristine clarity. When air moves in this empty, pristine clarity, we cannot see what kind of manifestation it is, but it is moving. It's like some kind of clear manifestation, a clear manifestation that is rippling. Observe carefully within. We will see this empty, pristine manifestation rippling, but it has no form. It ripples with awareness by itself. There is no self. Observe carefully. There is no us doing the knowing. It ripples with awareness through its own nature, like our heart. See how the heart beats by itself, like how the lungs work by themselves, how the liver works by itself, how the stomach works by itself, how the intestines work by themselves. Understand? This empty, pristine, pure life essence of ours is not involved with any manifestation. As for the manifestations that are voice, image, emotion, and this act of knowing, all of these are a kind of nature that ripples when there is impact. It's like a metaphor. Imagine a single sphere of clear water floating before us. It has surface tension, right? When wind touches it, or when anything impacts its surface even slightly, it creates ripples, and the rippling effect is like wavelets all around it. Just so is our pure essence. This clear metaphor helps you picture it, but when we actually access it ourselves, we will know, we will weep. Everything we understood about being human collapses completely. Everything we've known our whole life collapses entirely. It's as if we've lived from childhood until now, having everything, having vast knowledge, but then we realize all this was a dream. When we realize it was all a dream, that none of it truly existed, that it had no real self, when we realize it was all a dream, everything collapses completely. We are this empty, pristine, pure life essence, and we will reproach ourselves. Why were we so foolish? Why did no one teach us this since childhood? It's so profound. We've suffered our whole life, we've struggled, we've suffered greatly with everything. But when we realize we are this essence, we will no longer foolishly suffer. We shouldn't have been so foolish as to suffer, so foolish as to cling to anything. We shouldn't have quarreled with people, shouldn't have hated people, shouldn't have done those wrong things, shouldn't have been that way at all. If we had known we were this pure essence, by now we would be good people. We would help everyone. We would lead everyone to liberation. Because this essence is truly pure, there is no suffering here at all. There is only joy, only complete illumination. It knows that we shouldn't suffer over anything. Nothing truly has a self that really exists. Don't be angry with each other. Don't quarrel. Don't harm each other. Don't make war. Don't oppress. Don't quarrel and speak ill of each other. Nothing truly has a self that really exists. It's all like a dream. Don't hate and be angry with each other like this. You will be, as I've described, just access this. It's challenging. This is the one subject that no one has easily mastered. It's a subject that no one teaches and no one easily masters. This is the homework, this is the challenge I give you to work on. Go do this homework, work on this challenge. Realize it, experience it, fully in your heart, access it, understand it, reach it. This voice I'm speaking with is just a manifestation. It has no real self. It's as if we're just using it. These things are just temporary tools we're using. This body is used temporarily because it doesn't last long. Then it dies. This voice appears and disappears. We just use it but don't cling to it. It has no real self. Don't cling to it. This voice, don't cling, just use it. Mental images, just use them, don't cling to them. Emotions, just use them, don't cling to them. Whatever emotion arises, watch it. It appears by itself, disappears by itself. Laugh at these things. We've been lost in using these things for so long. Now we won't be lost in them anymore. Observe carefully, see it clearly, and we will weep. We will see how magnificent it is. It will be something truly magnificent for us. It is the one knowledge, the one ultimate subject that our empty, pristine, pure life essence has sought for so long. Seeking an answer from the pure essence, let us realize this answer. This is the challenge. This is the problem this subject gives us to work on. To realize this problem, to realize it through our own pure essence. Now back to the empty, pristine, pure essence, which is our life essence. When it comes to dwell in this vessel, what we call body, right? And we mistakenly believe we are male or female, having age, having a name and surname. This empty, pristine life essence has no form, yet comes to mistakenly dwell, thinking it has form. We've been lost like this for so long, accumulating this for so long. Now fortunately we've come to know this truth. We came to dwell, came to learn, and identified ourselves as the body. At first identifying ourselves as darkness, then identifying ourselves as light, then identifying ourselves as having a body, then beginning to identify further that this is our voice. These mental images are our thinking. These appearing emotions are our emotions. This knowing is our knowing. All of this voice I'm speaking with now, it's not really a voice. And no one is speaking either. No one is knowing either. Can you see now? All of this is just manifestation of nature functioning by itself. Let it know by itself. Leave it be. Let it speak by itself. But don't take it to be a voice, or take it to be anything. It's just manifestation. Don't assign value or meaning to what it absolutely is. It's a knowing manifestation. That's enough. It's just something. Understanding it this way is fine. Understand? Because this doesn't need language. Because our formless, empty, pristine, pure life essence, in here, there is no language at all. In here, there are none of the stories we understand in this world, but within here is everything. It is clear and is the substance of purity that contains everything. The entire universe dwells within here, and it can know everything completely. Now, this empty, pristine, pure life essence, it simply doesn't know what it is. So it resides in various things, rippling with attachment continuously, right? We've already become attached, believing that we are speaking, thinking, feeling emotions, and knowing. This body is ours. We've already clung to these things, having a name, a surname, age, parents, and relatives. We've fully identified with them. In truth, each individual mind comes to reside in a vessel, all lost, all entangled with one another, merely to discover what it truly is. Now, the method of turning inward, of looking within, listen carefully. This is the first point. Set an intention. Declare to yourself often, repeatedly, and listen to my teachings. Listen to the recordings over and over. Listen frequently, and diligently observe within. Observe inwardly. Don't direct awareness outward. Don't dwell on knowing this and that outside. Don't engage with the voice, mental images, emotions, or the act of knowing. Don't immerse yourself in any manifestation or anything at all. Focus solely on knowing inwardly. As you listen, simultaneously observe within. For instance, when a sound impacts, it is known inwardly. Imagine this. You're sitting casually, sipping coffee, looking here and there. After a while, a sensation arises. You feel hungry. There's a manifestation of hunger and it feels hungry. Then it says, "Oh my, I'm so hungry." Do you see how it speaks naturally? Can you observe? There's no mouth inside, yet it can speak. If you observe closely and notice this, "so hungry," and suddenly it strikes you, it speaks by itself and understanding emerges. It's as if it breaks free. It breaks free from this voice. Know this, and it will become lighter, more unburdened, more free. Tears may flow when you realize this voice is not you, the voice that speaks within the mind, or even when spoken aloud. This voice assigns value and meaning to everything. Home, lover, children, body, this voice speaks of it all. Then wait. Where is the self? It will reflect back to you just like this. It will reflect back like this. And you'll see that everything arises because this voice creates it all. Then you'll cry. You'll begin to observe the inner space more frequently. It will happen naturally. You'll start seeing what's within more and more often until it feels like you're always aware within. But don't try to force this awareness. Just observe, keep observing, and it will unfold on its own. Keep listening to these teachings, and understanding will deepen, deepen, deepen. The sense of lightness and freedom will continue to grow. You might cry 2 or 3 times more, and then one day, while simply sitting and sipping coffee, looking around as usual, still listening to these teachings, suddenly you'll hear a gecko's call. You'll hear this sound arise, and in that moment something will click and everything will open up. You'll suddenly understand that this awareness, this hearing of sounds, is not you. This realization will come on its own. Just wait, it will happen naturally. When it breaks free, it happens naturally. Understanding dawns by itself, through its own nature. Our pure, empty life essence, when it sees the truth through its own nature, sees that all these conditions are not itself, it will let go of its grip and break free. It's like we've been carrying a 100-kilogram weight for so long, gradually letting it go bit by bit, until finally we kick it all away. Then comes lightness, spaciousness, and freedom, escaping the cage. We break free, transcending the world, beyond human condition, beyond all worldly matters. We become pure essence, and here tears will flow. We'll cry in wonder, feeling such gratitude that we'll long to see who showed us this path. I want nothing else but for all of us to realize this pure essence that we already possess. Then we'll be completely free from suffering. We'll live together in peace. Harmony will arise, and we'll no longer harm or take from one another. We'll love each other, discussing only this pure essence. It will be joyful and delightful. Everything will be cool and peaceful. For peace to emerge, everyone must help share these teachings everywhere. Freedom from suffering comes through knowing. Spread it widely through YouTube, Facebook, let it reach far and wide. Now it's time to conclude. May all of us quickly awaken to this empty, pure life essence. Thank you for watching and engaging with these teachings on awakening. If you found them meaningful, we would deeply appreciate your support through subscribing, liking the video, or sharing your thoughtful comments below.